She never noticed the silence until the day it spoke back to her. Every evening at exactly 6, the silver spoon touched fine porcelain in a dining room meant for laughter, and the echo felt louder than words. If you've ever wondered how a single moment can crack open a lifetime of loneliness, stay with this story until the very end. And if it touches your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because stories like this remind us why kindness still matters. Everyone in the neighborhood knew Mrs. Eleanor Whitmore is the wealthy widow with the iron gates and the ivy-covered mansion at the end of Maple Lane. She had money, influence, and a reputation for being distant. After her husband passed away years ago, the house felt too large, the hallways too long, and the dining table too wide for just one place setting. She had no children, no grandchildren, no reason, people assumed, to open her heart again. So she ate alone. Always alone. The staff served quietly, never lingering, because grief, when it hardens, can feel like a rule no one dares to break. Across town lived Marisol, a single mother and professional nanny who took pride in raising children who were not her own with patience and love. Her son, Daniel, was 10 years old, bright-eyed, curious, and deeply observant. He noticed the way people crossed the street when he smiled at them, the way teachers sometimes lowered their expectations, the way silence could follow him into rooms that weren't built for boys like him. But he also noticed beauty in small things: birds nesting on power lines, warm bread from the bakery, and the way his mother's hands softened when she laughed. When Marisol was hired to help care for Mrs. Whitmore during a short illness, she accepted with professionalism and caution. She knew the rumors. She knew the house had rules. Daniel, having nowhere to go after school, often waited in the mansion's side garden, sitting on the low stone wall with a book balanced on his knees. He wasn't allowed inside, not because anyone said it directly, but because no one ever invited him. Mrs. Whitmore noticed him through the window one afternoon. A small figure, dark curls bent over a page, lips moving as he read. Something tugged at her chest, something old and uncomfortable. She told herself it was nothing. Just curiosity. Just another passing thought in a house full of them. That evening, as usual, she sat at the long table, the chandelier glowing softly above her. The soup cooled untouched. And then it happened. A chair scraped gently against the marble floor. Daniel had wandered in, guided by nothing but curiosity and a child's unfiltered courage. He didn't know the rules. He only saw an empty chair and a woman who looked sad. He climbed up, folded his hands, and said, "My mom says no one should eat alone if there's a seat open." The room froze. The staff gasped. Marisol rushed forward, apologizing, her voice shaking as she reached for her son. But Mrs. Whitmore raised a trembling hand. "Let him stay," she said, surprising even herself. Daniel smiled, not the kind of smile that asks permission, but the kind that offers friendship. He talked about school, about the book he was reading, about how his dad used to say that dinner tasted better when shared. Mrs. Whitmore listened, at first stiffly, then with growing warmth. The soup tasted different that night. Better. That single meal changed the rhythm of the house. Daniel began sitting with her when he visited, always polite, always curious. He asked questions no one else dared to ask. About the portraits on the walls, about the piano no one played anymore, about the man in the photograph by her bed. Slowly, stories poured out of Eleanor Whitmore that had been locked away for years. She spoke of a child she had wanted but never had, of choices made too early, of love lost too soon. But not everyone approved. Whispers spread. Neighbors questioned boundaries. Some staff felt uncomfortable. A wealthy widow sharing meals with a nanny's black son unsettled people who preferred their worlds neatly separated. One afternoon, Eleanor overheard a cruel comment meant to be private. That night, the old loneliness crept back in. Daniel noticed. Children always do. He slid a folded piece of paper across the table. Inside was a drawing of two people at a table, smiling. Underneath, in uneven letters, it read, "Family is who eats with you."